We are back. This is the 2014 FF1M season, round 1 coming to you from Melbourne, or Albert Park to be more precise, for the Australian Grand Prix. And I'm delighted to say I'm being joined by Mr. Shake and Bake himself.
Happy to be back, 2 metres away, don't worry, to all those COVID police out there. We are recording this on separate mics.
Yes, we are. And we'll do a quick recap of the season before, which saw Kimi Räikkönen win for Gojira in that race in Brazil, winning it in style.
Nicked it right at the last, really, as well. It didn't look like he was going to do it. It looked like the outside chance all through the season, but then nicked it away right at the end, I'm sure.
Well, even more spectacularly for Gojira, actually, because they just pinched it by a single point in the constructors. And we have a whole raft of engine changes. You've gone for you've got a works engine in the form of Megatron.
Yeah, I may have screwed the pooch on this one a little bit, if I'm honest. I vastly underestimated how much people were going to be spending on their engines, so I'm just going to blame everything on my GP2 engine.
You've got a customer though. I'm running Judd's exclusively.
Yeah.
Which apparently might not make too much of a difference, because there have been changes to the way the engines are being developed. This goes by percentage of race finishes rather than like how many people are just running it.
It is indeed, which stops the Ferrari walkover from last season where everybody just went for Ferrari. Although
Renault did catch up towards the end of last season. And here we have a qualifying grid, and it's Fernando Alonso who takes pole position for Willows, and the Gojira of Hamilton alongside him on the front row, Rosberg third. And there we have the first Yorkshire.
Wow.
Sebastian Vettel up in fourth.
Was not expecting him to be that high.
Kimi Räikkönen in fifth position, and look at Valtteri Bottas for the GRM up in sixth place.
No, go on, lad.
Not too bad effort from the Hungarian Grand Prix race winner.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In a mad race.
Robert Kubica punching above his own weight yet again. Oh, well, actually, that said, I just assume that Andrew's cars have been messed up by my terrible engine. Sorry, Andrew.
Speaking of Andrew F1, there should be a returning driver appearing on there soon. Where's he gone? Both Excelites in the top 10, by the way. Perez in ninth. A good effort from him. You may have noticed that a team has not shown up yet. 19th place, the highest of the two Tornadoes.
What?
Jean-Eric Verne there in 19th. Sandwiching the two, Jaime Alguersuari for Mitchell, a long, long way off with Nico Hülkenberg, his teammate.
They Ferrari'd it.
In real life terms, maybe, Yeah, big surprise to see Tornadoes that far down. But anyway, here we get ready for the start. You can see lots of flash photography in the background as here come the lights. 57 laps of the Australian Grand Prix. 5 lights go on, and the 5 lights go out. And let's see who gets the best start. Alonso's got a good start for Willows, and Hamilton less so. He's been passed by Nico Rosberg already, going into the first corner. Who is going to have collisions, if any? None by the looks of it. And Sebastian Vettel up in second position. Good start from the German.
Go on, lad.
My driver of the season last season.
Yeah, mine too. I mean, I am a bit biased, but I think he supremely overperformed.
And what have we got here? Grosjean versus an FJR going into turn 3. That looked like, I think it might have been Jenson Button. It didn't look like he had a good start, but he's made up a position anyway on Grosjean, who now drives for Pedersen. There's Alonso. They can see on the medium tyres. And Räikkönen running the blue ring tyres. I assume that means hard. And rounding the tight turns 9 and 10 complex. There's Button running the mediums as well. Tornadoes running the softs. So let's see how that works out for them. As there he is, Sebastian Buemi. The returning Sebastian Buemi runs in last.
That's something we probably should have picked up on all the different tyre compounds. Do you know what? Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember what I'm running in this race. I think I'm running mediums.
Well, let's have a look at these sidewalls as we go through the final couple of corners. There is Sebastian. Hard to see from that angle. Red means soft. There's Bottas on the mediums. Cool graphics, actually, that have been able to do that. Bottas lost a place at the start to Kubica. So a good start from the Andrew F1 as well. We're all expecting 3 stops throughout the whole field. Not 100% sure as to the reason why. We normally see 2 stops. So maybe the new tyre compounds, who knows, they might be a bit on edge.
Made from severely condensed chewing gum.
Taking the wrong meaning of rubber. There's the Magnussen, there's the debutant, Kevin Magnussen. And locking up is Carlos Sainz, another debutant. And rounding lap 2, turns 6, 7 and 8 is Fernando Alonso. I'm expecting Willows to be very strong championship contenders. Showed very good pre-season testing.
If I'm honest, I thought it was going to just be a Hamilton snooze fest this season. I thought Gajira were going to walk it, but maybe it's not going to be so straightforward.
Yeah, Hamilton actually dropped to 5th at the end of that first lap behind Rosberg and Raikkonen. So Kimi showing fairly well in the Exolite.
What is that blue ring though?
That must mean hard tyres.
But wasn't it? I'm sure I've seen a red. I'm sure I've seen a yellow, and I'm sure I've seen a white. Or I might be going crazy. I'm probably going crazy. It must
be the blue ringed hard tyres.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Rosberg's on the hards as well.
Alonso sets the fastest lap of the race on his mediums as Hamilton looks to challenge the Exolite of current world champion Kimi Raikkonen. That feels nice to say.
Oh, of course, Raikkonen. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Just going on to the pre-season testing, we've got fictional drivers as our test drivers. You've got a Japanese driver called Itsuki Yoshida.
Is he fictional? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's fictional. Oh, lockups from... Oh, that is...
Kobayashi, I think.
Kobayashi, and there's Massa off as well. Returning Felipe Massa. There he is, we're on board with him on the hards. Looking to make a move on Maldonado into turn 3. And barging the Venezuelan out of the way. And here's an FJR looking to make a move on one of the Horizons. Is that Adrian Sutil or is that Paul Di Resta? But now Button's got Roman Grosjean up behind him. Button having to defend a bit. Grosjean... Oh, he's got past him. Oh, and he's got past both of them, Grosjean. Look at that.
Nice one.
Don't know what the Horizon was doing. Braking a lot earlier than he was expecting. And it is Paul Di Resta. No problem for Di Resta, just broke very early.
Graphically, it looks very sharp.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out if it looks a bit different, the graphics this season.
I think it does. I'm sure AJ will fill us in. I feel like he might be running a different graphics pack or something like that.
Yeah, I think he bought a new laptop.
Yeah, it's probably that, isn't it?
And Button in the slipstream of Di Resta. One thing I noticed about my car is that it's quite quick in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because in the Barcelona test, Button set the fastest first sector of anyone during his test day, but lost out a bit in his second and third. So I might have a slippery car.
Right.
Whereas Pedersen appear to have the opposite, in that it's quite good it was quite quick at Imola, but less so at Barcelona.
I can't really remember much about my car. I remember that, Yoshida was good. He's called Yoshida, right?
Itsuki Yoshida, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a fictional driver called Benjamin Pryor.
Yeah. I just worried that with the Yoshida, I'd mispronounced it somehow. I'm very good at mispronouncing.
And here we're having...
names.
This must be how Grosjean got ahead of both Button and Di Resta. Coming out of turns 1 and 2, gets a good run on Button. And then chooses the outside, then goes up to the inside. Brake very, very late. Good move. Even accounting for the Horizon's early braking, it was a good move in the end.
That was a squeaky bum time going into that corner there.
Yep. Now we're on board with a GRM. I think it's Valtteri Bottas. Who is he? Oh, there's a collision. There's an Exolite and somebody else. Oh, was that Raikkonen? It's Kimi Raikkonen who's gone off somewhere. Now, way too much speed into the 11-12 chicane. And there's going to be a bit of contact afterwards. Bosh! And surprisingly, nothing broke.
I've no idea how he's not got any damage there. That's ridiculous.
But Kubica looks like he's stuck. He's out. Kubica's out. The Singapore Grand Prix race winner is out of the race. The first retirement, I think.
Right, why are we looking at Alonso? Is he going to come into the pits?
Yep, the pit marker's yellow.
Tell you what, that is a sexy livery, is that?
Yeah, good job, Joe Willows.
Yeah, that looks awesome. A little bit Midlandy, but, not shit. Because Midland were very close to having a good livery, but it was just like the silvery bits that ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But only one
good work
season, Midland.
there. Like half a season, wasn't it?
Yeah, until 3 races to go, they became Spiker, which is a much cooler name.
Yeah.
Midland is like the ultimate of generacy.
Yeah.
And the first pit stop, it's Rosberg. It's in the pits actually.
And let's be fair, not dissing AJ, but Midlands isn't as good as Yorkshire, is it? It's really not.
I wonder where everyone else is in the F1 community is from.
Don't know. I know. Is Michael Pedersen from Sweden or
Lives in Sweden. He's Danish.
Danish, right?
And I think Guy lives in Chicago.
All right.
Mm.
Did not know that. That explains why he knows a lot about American politics.
Mm.
Tell you what, that's a slow pit exit.
Yeah, they hug the inside and then go around the outside of turn 2, which is a very weird way of taking the pit exit. Rejoining 13th ahead of Buemi, who's not got a lot laps of fuel left.
This is going to end in tears.
Rosberg has seen him coming. That's good awareness from the German with the Finnish dad. And there's Bottas and Maldonado. Bottas must have made a pit stop. Yep, he has. So has Daniel Ricciardo. That's Yorkshire on Yorkshire.
Go on, lad. Go on, Danny boy.
And he's taken the position away from, who is that, Button, or is it must be Button, because he's got the red T-cam. And into the pits comes the race leader, Fernando Alonso, running over the lollipop man.
Take that. That's what you get for advertising and Lucky Strike.
No cigarettes for you. Hamilton in the pits, as is Vettel. So the pit stops.
Take that, mild 7.
More tobacco. Yep, fizzy drinks conquer everything. Well, it's not actually sponsored. Oh, yeah, it is sponsored by Coca-Cola on the side. And he's got the Ilmor logo on the engine cover as well.
I mean, I'm more of a Pepsi fan, but there you go.
This Coke tastes like Pepsi.
Oh, Jesus.
Chopping in front of Rosberg was Hamilton. And where is Rosberg? He's got ahead of him. Hamilton has jumped Rosberg in the first round of pit stops. Now they're up the inside into 3. Rosberg's going to have a go back. Nearly contact, but Hamilton saw him coming. Former best mates.
Very, very emphasis on former.
Yes, extremely former. So in amongst the pit stop sequence, Buemi briefly moves up to 5th, but he is due in the pits very soon. Kobayashi 6th. Bottas, I believe, has made a pit stop. I don't think Grosjean has, but I might be wrong on that. No, Grosjean might have done. Then Button versus another Horizon. Up to turn 3. And off the track has gone Button. Where are you going? In the gravel for a spin. And are you beached?
That was a little bit too much gusto on that. It's like he got his pedals confused there.
What is it about first races? I never ever do well on the first race of the season.
Well, I've noticed that Button's AI is quite crazy.
Yeah. A bit crazy last season and a lot of times.
Yeah.
And who we're looking at? It's his Sainz, the new boy chasing a Horizon, which must be De Resta. Who else have Horizon got? It must be Subtle and De Resta.
I really should have researched this more before doing this. I saw the Toyota then. I was like, oh yeah, there's a Toyota now, isn't there?
GRM used to run the old Jaguar livery last season.
Yeah. Have you seen the mock-up of Aston Martin livery?
No.
For real life 2022.
I haven't
Looks
actually.
Good. Like green cars, man.
Yeah. And we have a look at race leader Alonso.
Oh,
Jesus
was that?
me!
I swore.
All wheels gone on Fernando Alonso, and he's suddenly out of the race. My goodness.
What was that about?
He just swerved off the track.
That was crazy, man.
I can only assume that was an instant mechanical failure that's pitched him off into the wall, but all wheels gone in that incident.
Might have to bleep my reaction there. Sorry about that. I forgot I was commentating for a second there. That was unexpected. And now suddenly this is for the lead.
Vettel versus Hamilton for the lead of the race. That moves Rosberg up to 3rd, Bottas 4th, Grosjean 5th, Perez 6th, Hulkenberg up to 7th for the Mitchell, and Magnussen is up to 8th in the 2nd FJR. Don't know where Button's gone.
I just don't know where that came from. It just like he turned in. It wasn't like a snap overstay, correct? It was...
That was the ultimate of RKOs.
Yeah.
From out of nowhere.
Yeah, it looks like he just got bored and just thought, can't be asked.
Have a look at Horizon. Challenging, is that
That's Danny Rick.
Ricciardo? And just a friendly little love tap on the Love Honey sponsored shake and bake. And now Hamilton versus Vettel. Hamilton is going to come into the pits for his second stop. It'll be interesting to see whether new tyres or the lower fuel load plays the bigger impact.
I'm going to guess the undercut's important because he got past Rosberg, didn't he, before?
He did, yes.
Unless Rosberg was stuck in traffic.
Could well have been.
So Hamilton on the hards.
Vettel also on the hards.
Vettel's on the hards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remembered wrong.
So the
that's good. That's good. That's promising, is that?
Yeah, I mean, I assumed he'd struggle a little bit more than usual.
Same, yeah. Yeah.
Vettel's showing that he's still got it in the FF1M world.
I feel like I shouldn't have owned up to having a shit engine.
This is Hamilton versus Magnussen coming out of the pits. Let's see what Kevin can do. Not a lot by the looks of it.
He's gonna T-bone him.
No, he's kept it sensible. Magnussen, I think, he finished second in the FF2M Championship to Karun Chandok.
All right.
But it was Magnussen that got the drive. Because I quite like the look of him. Whoa, there's some chaos going into turn 3. Off goes Hulkenberg in the Mitchell, and in comes Rosberg for his second stop.
It'd be good to have Karun Chandok in here again. I like him in terms of his punditry.
He briefly
wasn't the best driver.
He briefly was in FF1M, and
was he?
Yeah, there was a race 2010 in Italy where there was pandemonium at the first corner, and Chandok suddenly found himself leading, but it got red flagged.
I don't remember that.
No, the video's off YouTube, probably because of the chain.
Oh, right, yeah. I feel like the current F1 theme is not blocked or doesn't automatically copyright you because of the fact it's on the video game. So people uploading Let's Plays and things like that.
Oh, we've got... Al-Jawsari going well off the track, just avoiding the Pedersen of Grosjean.
Spun right round like a record.
Yeah.
Right round.
As an aerial shot of a Horizon, which could be Di Resta. Looking inside of Kobayashi, that's a very, very forceful move.
Yeah, bullied him a bit there.
As into the pits comes Vettel, 5-second pit stop, not bad.
He's not got a very long neck.
No, he's very hunkered in. That's a shake and bake trait, that, isn't it? The drivers sit a bit too low.
Yeah.
Now let's see where Vettel's going to rejoin. Still in the lead by the looks of it. But there's Hamilton. He's
going to get a good run, knows Hamilton.
He is. Hamilton should have got it. He's got it, just about. Vettel.
Go on, Sebi. Have him.
Slightly newer tyres now, but by 3 laps actually, so Vettel might pile some pressure on during this third stint.
Come on, Seb. Discretion is the lesser part of valour.
Phrase to that effect. And I think Magnussen was making a pit stop as well from third position, which was a pretty good effort, but a little bit out of sequence on the pit strategy. Now we have a look at Kobayashi versus a Tornado. And it's Kobayashi versus, who's that? Verne? Could be Verne. I think Buemi had an instant earlier on.
Did you notice how many times Ledyard say discretion is the greater part of valour when he was it was annoying.
Yeah. And it is Sebastian Buemi that we're looking at, not Jean-Eric Verne. And just in the back, I think that's the recovering Button versus Maldonado. Buemi defending, I think his soft tyres are not really working at the moment. Tornado tested mostly on the soft tyres, trying to develop them.
Yeah. Wise move. I think that's what I did. I tested a lot on the mediums and the softs because, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Button versus Maldonado going into the first corner. Can Button outbrake the Venezuelan? Yes, no, maybe. I don't know, can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Into turn 3, is Button going to try it up the inside here?
To be honest, I just really want a Smirnoff now, looking at that car.
I really want a mild 7. No, I don't really. Hamilton holds a 0.6 of a second lead over Vettel on lap 33. Rosberg 6.2 seconds further back.
Now I want a Jaeger bomb.
And there's a contact between Kobayashi and Buemi. Kobayashi goes for a spin. Buemi goes for a trip on the gravel. And Maldonado and Button thank both drivers.
I wanted a Jaeger bomb, but Kobayashi wanted a dive bomb.
Oh.
I'll see myself out.
think Button might see himself out if he's not careful into turn 3. He's careful this time. Found the brake pedal, no problem. Hamilton starts lap 44, just edging the gap now. It's 2 seconds between himself and Vettel.
Do you know what? I'm happy with this. I thought I'd be way off the pace. Admittedly, I may have done some things in the testing which might be boosting how fast my car looks. But
aerodynamics.
I won't go into it too much, but I've been, fiddling around with things.
There's Button going to try around the outside of 11 and 12. I wouldn't advise that. Turn 13 is going to be the next opportunity for the former champion against someone who's yet to win a race, unbelievably, and Maldonado.
Really?
In FF1M.
Right.
Had a few podiums, but not yet a race win.
I mean, I don't know who this Pastor Maldonado guy is, but I'd heard good things. Just somebody needs to give him a chance and let him drive for a good team. I don't know if he's on anybody else's radar. Okay, I'm gonna drop it now.
Poor traction coming out the final corner from the FJR.
To be fair, I probably was too hard on Maldonado.
Hamilton into the pits for his final pit stop. Only 12 laps to go. So let's see what he can do on this as Rosberg comes into the pits as well. Vettel carrying on in the lead, I believe, or has Vettel made a pit stop as well? There is Rosberg with his crew, and there's other crews out.
All crew here.
Valtteri Bottas comes into the pits.
I was channeling my inner Drake. Brickles looked disapprovingly at me then.
I'll be honest, that went right through my head, did that?
That's probably a good thing that you haven't memorised Drake lyrics. Oh, there was a big puff of smoke in the background there.
I didn't see that, I must admit. Hülkenberg versus Rosberg, but Rosberg having come out the pits.
I feel like I was imagining things.
And Vettel during the pits this lap, so 1 lap longer than the Gajera, who is a bit behind Grosjean. Grosjean's had quite a good race.
Yeah.
And he's clearly the quicker of the two Pedersen drivers.
Yeah.
Into the pits comes Vettel.
If I'm honest, I don't see the lead changing here.
Yeah, the gap was roughly 2 seconds when Hamilton came into the pits.
And Hamilton had a pretty short pit stop, so...
How short is Vettel's pit stop?
Slow front right. Ooh. Nah, I think Hamilton will still have the pace on the fresher tyres. I think the undercut was...
The undercut was a bit
important.
powerful.
Yeah.
Let's see as Vettel comes out of the pits. Can't see anything on the left-hand side. Grosjean comes in. No, he's in the lead. Vettel back in the lead.
Where's Hamilton?
There's Hamilton.
Right,
now is Hamilton going to do the same thing?
Yeah, he is. Oh, it's a little bit tighter this time.
Now Vettel needs to defend, which he sort of is doing, but Hamilton's still at the inside. That's going to be tight.
He's gone for it.
Oh
you
me!
You absolute
And that's an incident between Hamilton and Vettel. Let's see that again. On board from Hamilton.
Lewis, what are you doing?
Goodness me, that was dramatic. So here we go, on board with Hamilton. Chooses the inside, Vettel defending. Ooh, and understeering into Vettel. That's...
to be fair, seeing it from Hamilton's on board.
And somehow Vettel rejoined from that.
Oh, they flipped him back over?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Needs a new front wing, though.
That's ridiculous that he's still in the race after that.
The first roll of the season as well.
Yeah.
Not quite as comical as Di Resta just going on his side at Singapore. But yeah, where does Vettel rejoin after that?
I feel like we should maybe use a bleep machine for this one, because my language hasn't been very good in this. It's not been very family friendly.
Oh well, 16th place, so it took a while to... Oh, Buemi's just going off in avoidance and into the path of... Is that Kobayashi or is that Hamilton? I think it might be Kobayashi. Buemi's had a shocker of a race.
Buemi knows his place though. He doesn't get out. He gets out of the way of the mighty Vettel. Not like that arrogant Hamilton.
Who has now got a 1.4 second lead over Nico Rosberg, who is now, 1.4 seconds behind. Grosjean versus Perez for 4th position now. And that's an interesting battle. These battled a bit during last season for Gajera and Tornado. Now they're both with different teams, and they're still together. And look at third position, Bottas. That's a very good effort from him in the GRM.
Yeah, good work.
Meanwhile, we've got Hulkenberg in 6th, so he's recovered quite well after his brief off into the gravel at turn 3. Magnussen 7th, and we have a Tornado in the top 8, Jean-Eric Verne. From 18th, 19th on the grid, up to 8th. Not bad. But
not bad going, yeah.
Considering Tornadoes were championship contenders last season, then it must be said it's a bit of a step down.
Yeah, we shouldn't be praising him for points, I suppose.
But it's not shown too badly on the soft tyres.
Oh, I'm gutted, man. I'm gutted. Flipping Lewis Hamilton. Of course he comes out of it okay. Of course it's my car that flipped.
Yeah, we've had one driver that's had trouble. Because you've rolled. Raikkonen had that off at 11 and 12, and then Button got the pedals mixed up.
Yeah. Wait, there's not been any mechanical failures, has there?
No, it's been lock-up from Perez on both front tyres. This is going to give Grosjean an opportunity into turn 3. In the slipstream, Pedersen have got the customer Mugen, while Exolite have got the customer Ilmore engine. The works has been run by the Willows team.
Yeah. I can't. What are Gajera running again?
Works Mugen.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And then there's also Works Climax, which is being run by Tornado, and then the customer's Horizon.
I don't understand why Tornado is so far down, because they spent a lot on their engine. They had a really good car last year. I'm guessing they worked on the car throughout until the end of the season. But I don't understand where that jump in performance.
I know. I mean,
come from.
Is it the drivers? Because Buemi's been out of FF1M for a season.
Maybe, but Verne wasn't a slouch last year.
No, he won 2 races, did Verne?
We are comparing him against Grosjean, though.
Who is actually running 5th.
No, a good race from Grosjean.
Yeah, in the much rejuvenated Pedersen. Long awaited after the season they had last time out. Their only points of last season came in this very race, which was the absolute shaft fest of unreliability. Reliability's been much better. Hulkenberg's catching up to these two, so Perez is very much a roadblock. And it's going to be a 3-car battle between the Exolites, the Pedersen, and the Mitchell. Let's see what's Pedersen's... What's the medium tyres on the Pedersen? I think Perez is on... Oh, big lock-up for Perez. So his tyres are not working at the moment. As we go into the turn 11-12 chicane. And, well, a bit slow at the exit for Perez. Is this going to give an opportunity for Hulkenberg, who goes up the inside of Grosjean?
This is going to end in tears.
It very much might do, but Hulkenberg has got the position from Grosjean, so good move from the Mitchell, who, I'll be honest, I was expecting him to be quite strong for this season. They showed some very good pace in pre-season with their fictional test driver, Cooper Lee.
Mate, I'm just feeling depressed here. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. You're probably not going to get much out of me for the rest of this. My bottom lip is firmly pouted out with my tail between my legs. Metaphorically, I'm not a furry.
Now that Hulkenberg's got ahead of Grosjean, he's not exactly pulling away from the Frenchman, and Perez has bridged a gap between these two, as they now go into the 9-10 complex. Be careful of that wall on the outside. Now Grosjean is in the slipstream. Mitchell also running the customer Mugen, so exactly the same power output for these two.
Yeah, there's no... It's an awkward little chicane, that, because the straight's not long enough to have a go. You always have to get out the power.
But it's a good chicane.
It's a good chicane. You are a lot faster at it than me, though, I've noticed.
In the F1 games.
Yeah. Particularly with the 2004 Ferrari. I couldn't get near you through that corner.
Yeah, I seem to go and measure of you in the fast corners, whereas you're better in braking and slow corners.
I don't know about the second part of that.
Now then, what have we got? We've got Hulkenberg shimmying a little bit. Here's Perez once again as we go into the 9-10 corners. And bouncing under braking, he's
dear.
made a mistake, and off has gone Perez. Where's he going to rejoin? I think the incident's already happened, so we're looking at a replay, and there's Magnussen moving up into 6th position. So is he going to get points on his FF1M debut? Seems likely.
Yeah, good debut for K-Mag. And here comes dirty Lewis Hamilton, dirty cheater, rolling Sebastian Vettel, son of a bitch guy. I'm not bitter about it.
You forgot to mention that he's not particularly good at music.
Yeah, tone deaf Hamilton.
Nana dripping like a waterfall.
Yeah. Lewis B. Sharp.
That's a Simpsons reference, that.
Well, yeah, actually it is. I wasn't thinking of that, but...
H flat.
Yeah, that's H flat. Let's go Lewis H flat. That's what it should say on the timing screen. It's not HM, just H flat. And he's got all the nanas gushing as he crosses the line.
To start his final lap of the race.
Right, okay. I thought it was the final lap. Sorry, I'm a little bit far away. Oh, the nanas are gushing in anticipation, though. They're going to go off like the champagne bottles at the end of this. So... thankfully, there's no laminate flooring in the paddock because everyone will be slipping and sliding all over the place because of all the. I'm going to stop.
Yep, and back on form after his dreadful 2013 season with my team, nonetheless. Like the only time Hamilton drove for FJR and it went horribly.
I feel like we should maybe explain what the gushing nana thing is. Do you think
he did a
people know
collab
that?
with Christina Aguilera, and genuinely one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was a real just punch in the stomach to music in general, I would say.
Yeah.
Just absolutely no character, just a cut and paste, auto-tune, generic voice with generic lyrics about I get all the bitches where I have lots of money. Which, to be fair, he probably does. At least there's the legitimacy there, which not a lot of other rappers have. Or I don't know if you can call what he was doing rap, because he was kind of singing as well, but it was auto-tuned. It was just... I mean, I can't talk, but...
Mumble rap.
He wasn't mumbling, he was enunciating.
It was weird.
And again, I can't talk, I mumble a lot. But...
And let's enough of the mumbling as we go down the main straight, and taking the first win of 2014 is Lewis Hamilton for Gajera, Mugen Honda. No, just a Mugen, because Honda no longer exist in the FF1M world.
Tell you what, he's done a lot for me in the past, but I'm unhappy about that. Even though it was, after looking at the onboard, probably 50-50. We'll ignore that, and I'll still be furious at him.
And the rest of the results, Nico Rosberg took second for Willows, so that's Willows' first podium in a long while. Excuse me. Bottas third, my drive of the race, I reckon, in the much improved GRM, because both of them in the top 10 with Sainz. That's not a bad debut for Carlos. Hulkenberg fourth, so he holds on from Grosjean. Magnussen sixth, and no doubt ruining that costly mistake will be Sergio Perez, who dropped from 4th to 7th. And taking the final point is Jean-Eric Vergne. Quite comfortably in the end, but not where Tornado will want to be.
I know it's very early days, but that might be a really important victory for Hamilton if the gap isn't as big as I first thought it was going to be. Because his main championship rivals, Alonso, possibly Vettel, given how good he looks in this race, but let's not jump to conclusions, neither of them scored points.
And neither did Fernando Alonso, Robert Kubica and Kimi Raikkonen from quite high up as well, and it was a suspension failure for Alonso.
Ah, right.
That would make sense as to why he suddenly drifted into the barriers
God.
and totaled his car.
Yeah, that'd be a nasty crash in real life. That'd be broken legs at least, I think, in real life. But thankfully, this is FF1M, so we just put a new pair of legs on him.
Yeah.
Because he's digital.
Digitally, Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
And he did set the fastest lap in the end, which was a 1:26.494. I don't know what that compares to last season, but they're about the same pace.
I don't know. That's more your era. More your area, sorry.
Yeah, I'll double check that actually once in the next race, which will be in Malaysia. And quick look at the championship standings, which shouldn't really come as much as of a surprise because we've only had one race. By the way, your other driver finished 11th. So
Yeah, I'm not going to be too hard on Daniel Ricciardo because, like I said, as I was doing a bit with Maldonado last season, the way I'm testing is... I'm probably giving a bit away, but the way I'm testing is going to favour Vettel. So I'm not expecting Ricciardo to be right on his coat heels.
That
coat
gives me a
heels?
clue. And
Coat heels, yeah, right on his coat heels. That's definitely right.
8 different teams scored points. Interesting. So the only ones that didn't were yourself, Andrew F1, and the Horizon.
Yep. Thanks to a certain somebody.
Certain somebody, yeah. Well, that was round 1, and we shall see you for round 2, which will take place at the Sepang circuit in Malaysia. Will it be another wet one? Find out soon.
Is it going to be wet like the Nana?
We'll see you then.
Seriously, though, Hamilton's a twat.